light. I'm just finding some good light in this bathroom. I think we're better off over here. Okay, this will do. No, it won't. Shit. Hold on. I don't know why I did this. I was just watching, that'll do. I was just watching YouTube videos on how to edit vlogs when I know I'm not going to edit it. Maybe one day, not this week, not today. My dad actually ended up going to bed as I was just going down to hang out with him. So I still haven't left the bathroom. I am probably going to go and hang out with Lex. I have a call tomorrow morning with this girl who we were talking about starting a blog together, and I was so into it last week, and then it faded out, it went away, and I didn't end up doing anything with it. Really, I didn't even bring the book with me this week, so tomorrow I guess we're kind of starting over or finding a more sustainable way. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with that. It's a really cool idea. It was just another thing where the amount of energy that I needed to focus in one place to do it was not realistic. Not sure how this is going in terms of the amount of time that I'm spending in the bathroom talking to myself. But what I do know is that I'm starting to feel more similarly to how I did when I was in love. Talking to myself feels similarly to talking to him on the phone, or just knowing that he was there waiting to talk to me at points. So I don't know if coming into the bathroom or finding a little private moment and talking to myself could possibly emblemate that. And as I said before, I still don't know if this is just the drug. My pupils are massive. I don't know if this is me thinking that it's the drug. And I know that the black dog is probably just around the corner. The black dog, by the way, is what Churchill called his own depression. And my thinking when I hear about celebrities or famous people who had depression is like, yeah, but at least they accomplished something. Like, I'm 21 and feel like I haven't done anything, and I'd like to know what I mean by that more specifically, because clearly I've been doing things, but there's all this talk about productivity and about like using your time well and gaining, I guess, medals and stuff to put on your CV and stuff like that on the way. And ever since dropping out of an institution, I suppose it's harder to feel secure in yourself, especially when I spend a lot of time watching TV and vlogging and writing, and they're all quite self-indulgent pursuits, no doubt about that. But sometimes you just have to end a sentence with but. Yeah, and like, I will always care what people think, no matter what anyone says. I think that Charles Taylor is just always going to be right when he says you can't escape the horizons of significance. Like, we will always care what other people think. We are bound to each other, and we like are part of each other. And like, if I had like genuine support from my friends and family that like, Fee, like, you fucking do you, like, if it's helping to spend your time talking to yourself, if these vlogs are helping, like, go, like, keep going with it. And like, also, you could probably find a way to make a living out of it. Maybe you just need a bit of whatever, like, that would be a freaking dream. And at the same time I can hear, like, I don't know, almost like embarrassment that like, yeah, that's your sister, or like, yeah, my daughter's, still not really doing anything with her life. And there's a lot of negative voices that come up around that. And I believe that they're there for a reason. They're there because they're in the air. Like, I know as a fact, like, the way that people talk about each other behind their backs, like, I I know the power of gossip, and I know I can almost hear what's being said about me, like in one form or the other, or even not said but thought. And like, I suppose I need to make peace with how I relate to other people and how they do and don't affect me, and how I want to. So what steps to take moving forward. Like, the conversations I have with my therapist, you know, what do I actually need to do with them in terms of like, who do I have to tell and what do I actually have to say? I don't know. I can never even remember, and I feel like I'm losing the game if I can't be completely honest. And here I can be completely honest, so winning. And I'm going to be completely honest when I say right now that I just want to go and check on my sister, and give her a cuddle, and if she tells me to fuck off, I'll probably come back and keep talking to you, and think about like what to do about sleep maybe for the next week, and settling down. I had this one night when I couldn't sleep and the flow kind of like took over me, and I started writing poetry, and I was pretty convinced that I could be someone who didn't sleep for like 2 days and then slept for like 15 hours, and that would be okay, and that I don't need to be in sync with society. I can have my own rhythm as long as I'm productive in the hours that I'm awake. And I was pretty convinced about that I in a way I was a bit of a vampire, kind of, and I haven't found a way to be sustainable with that, and I think that maybe sustainability is like a good word to focus on, because it is the only thing that gives you security, like sustainability, if you know what I mean. Like, it's all well and good to have a high, but I'd like to see some fluency in myself, and that's already making my cheeks burn up as I say that, because I'm scared that I'm just on another trip. Like, I'm just going to record a couple of vlogs and then I'm going to fall back down and I'm going to feel shit. But I've tried to do this a couple of times before, where I document the change in my energy, and I document when it changes, and like, I guess I can do that again now. I don't want to meditate. I could do drawing. That's the thing. Like, I could draw and zone out right now. I'd rather hang out with my sister, but I could draw. But actually meditating requires me to be in such a certain state of mind. And I think that, like, for other people who maybe are like me and have like quite little reins over their moods, I think having a variety of ways to achieve a certain state of mind is important. So, for example, meditation can be through writing, it can be through drawing, like xenograms, like just lots of triangles and stuff. It could be through colouring if you're in the mood. It could be through walking if you're not too scared to go outside. I might do a separate video on that. And it could be through, no, my brain's gone, don't know. This is probably part of the problem. My brain is like a wild horse. And I can't believe how different I feel the second I'm on my own. But clearly this is the thing to keep looking at and to keep talking to. I wonder if there's a way I can center myself so that, because the thing is, if I come off the videos to myself feeling more centered and feeling more like confident, then I've done something good, right? Like, I'm stressed, scared, somewhere in the middle of those two, about feeling like I am still being constantly pulled around by whatever wants are strongest in my mind, whatever want what the most, and that they don't have my best intentions in heart. They're just living out through me, however they please, basically, and they don't care much for my physical body. I think that I'm hyper aware of the forces at play. I'm hyper aware of the way that I naturally gravitate towards wanting to be with people that I feel comfortable around. I want to be, especially in the evening, I want to be cuddled. I want to be like, I want to feel like they know I'm there, like, you know, I'm here, I'm still around. And that's a really strong force. Equally, I find it hard to settle down, to go to bed, and I'm just thinking about this phone call tomorrow, and like the reason I cancelled it for today was because like I couldn't imagine I imagined the person that would have to speak on the phone to her, and I couldn't imagine how I would become that person from where I was this morning and from last night. And I think that becoming female is going to be a process of constant revisitation. And the other thing is the disparity between what people say about themselves and how they make other people feel. And in my own personal life, I find that sometimes I hear people telling me that they think this and that about themselves in a positive way, like how far they've come, the work they've done. But there are some fundamental things that to me still cause me problems and don't make me feel like what they're saying is true. And I'm really paranoid about that for myself. The last thing I want to do is say that I'm better, that I'm recovering, that I'm whatever, when I'm still hurting people that care about me and that are affected by me. Sometimes that's why I think it would be easier just to like opt out of the game, because then it's at least it's permanent, if that makes sense. And I want to be honest about that as well, because I think that there's so much taboo around like even I can't even say it, that's how much taboo there is around it, but there is so much taboo around taking your life and thinking about death and not wanting to fight, and it's thought of as selfish, it's thought of as weak by a lot of people, and it's also a very unattractive thing to talk about, if that makes sense. It seems like it's a cry for help, it's an attention-seeking thing, and I just want to say that I think it's it might be one of those ghosts where you turn the light on and it goes away, you know, like if you say it, if it's better out than in, like if you're having the thoughts, it's better to say them, you know. And I believe in this intentionality thing that I was speaking about in an earlier vlog, where once you talk to one individual person about something, you're offloading on them and you're sharing your burden with them. And sometimes I think that's what I want to do. I want to transfer my energy elsewhere, and I want to feel like I'm being, look how red I'm going. I want to feel like I'm being held by someone else, but a lot of the time I don't want to do that to other people at all. Don't know why I'm going so red. I just want to be able to talk honestly and openly about what's going on. And it was a nice realisation today that I genuinely would like to hear other people talking like this too. And that there's no, like, the sky is the limit, like there's no, I said to Zoe the other day, we went for a walk and I wasn't feeling great, and I said like, I said, you know, like, I took this medication and I recorded like vlogs for hours and hours and hours on end, and we kind of laughed about it, and now I'm doing it again, and I'm not laughing about it right now because I actually can see why it is helpful, and I can see why a bit of separation is good. And also knowing that, I think before, it's not that I necessarily wanted to look back on them, but I think I'm just getting to learn myself better. Like, as I release content, I'm just offloading, and I'm hoping that the way that I speak will evolve, and that my relationship with myself will evolve in such a way that I don't feel so much dependence on particular other people, and I can enjoy my relationship with them, and I can enjoy them for them, as opposed to from a place of like need, because it's just horrible, that feeling. And this is also a good outlet for me to just talk about myself, and for that to be okay, because it's another common thing along with the suicide thing that people say, we shouldn't talk about ourselves too much, but I think it's something that we all have like a very natural tendency to do, and yeah, they say it's the wolf you feed, so maybe I shouldn't, but I'm just gonna stick with it because it's helping me right now. And my sister's on the phone, so I might just keep talking. I did say I'd make these videos shorter, and this is going to be another longer one. And I'm just trying to navigate a point. I mean, one thing I've been thinking about is like, what comprises a human? Like, what qualities are there to someone? Because there's obviously like the physical, and then there's their skills, and then there's how they are in relationships, there's their childhood, their ideas, their outlook, their vibe, I guess, as well. And I think part of the reason I find socialising so hard is because I feel like I'm plastering on a face the whole time. Like, I'm not really there. Like, I'm just plastering on this face, and roundabout conversations, like carousel questions, and like, it would just be easier if I was prettier and smaller, and yeah, it's just uncomfortable, I guess. Whereas I suppose right now, sitting in my bathroom talking to myself, I am quite comfortable, and also like, I wonder if there's a way, at least for my own head, I can change the narrative around how it all sounds, because I know how it sounds. I know how it sounds. I'm not that deluded. I'm aware that sitting in a bathroom talking to myself is probably not a sustainable way of life. But what I'm hoping is that it's guiding me somewhere, because it's allowing a free flow narrative to come through me, and to keep me company. Maybe I am just I'm someone that needs to feel connected the whole time, you know? And I've got a lot of ideas coming up now which feel like they should be another vlog. And truth be told, I don't actually know how I started this one, and I'm so paranoid about all of the terminology around like bipolar, and around like thinking too quickly, and my ideas all dashing around the place, and all of this, like, yeah, that definitely does happen to me. Like, yeah, I definitely am highly sensitive, and I definitely have darty ideas and don't know where they start or finish, and I don't even want to edit this now. I don't want to. Maybe I will find something that I want to edit, but it's not right now, and it's not this. And yeah, I'm just going to record a new video talking about some of my ideas and some of my fears, I think. And I'm going to send my sister a message saying, let me know if you want to hang.